I'm Jeff Langston. I am Managing Director of Bridge Partnership Limited, which is a training and conferencing company working mainly in the public sector, particularly with central government. We've had good experiences, but many more bad experiences. On the other hand, talking about good experience, I wanted to mention the National Audit Office because they're the people that, if you like, they're the gold standard. They look at other people's procurement processes, other government departments. And it was a very simple process. The contract was basically a letter of 2 pages. And renewing it was very simple, and they've been very pleased with the products we've supplied, and we've been very pleased with the way that they've managed that contract. So it can be done. And I think it needs to be proportionate so that the value of the contract needs to be taken into account according to the processes that are gone through. And also the type of service needs to be considered. So if they can do that, and the people that check other people's procurement processes do it, then why can't the rest of government?
We provide a full range of catering services, which include mobile catering, outside catering, corporate catering, contract catering in the east and southeast of England. We have been trading for 2 years from the historic dockyard in Chatham in Kent, where we have seen in the last 2 years considerable sales growth even during difficult economic times. The public sector, we do have contracts with Medway Council, Kent County Council, and are proud to be one of only 2 suppliers in Kent to the Olympic Delivery Authority. Our experience of supply to the public sector is one that is a positive one, a profitable one, but one has to ensure that you're patient, focused and resilient in your approach to tendering for any particular contract. What has worked particularly well for Norma's Catering in the public sector procurement process has been building relationships following the successful winning of a tender. If we could improve one particular thing within the public sector procurement process, that would be simplifying the process. Very often tenders can be confusing, many pages long, and involve enormous amounts of time to actually just complete the tender process, or actually even just apply to be part of a framework process. That, for smaller businesses such as our own, is something that sometimes negates or actually cancels out any benefits that one may have to apply for public sector contracts. So you have to be very clear and perhaps particularly choosy in what tenders you do actually go for. The other thing that needs to be improved within that particularly has to be the feedback when you are not successful, that the public sector authorities, organisations should feed back very clearly and give a clear understanding of why you've not been successful in the process.
We've got 3 different branches to our business. Primarily we make cider. We've been doing that from the day one. We also make freshly pressed apple juice, which we've been doing for a couple of years now, and we make cider vinegar. So 3 different products, all from apples. Supplying to the public sector has been fairly minimal up till now. Well, we had a meeting which was arranged by Hampshire Fair about 2 years ago or so. It was a local food event for local procurements, and I went along to that, and I happened to be sitting next to the gentleman who buys all the school's foods. And I said to him, well, presumably you use locally grown apples for your apple juice. And he said, well, no, there's nobody that can do it, which was a surprise to me because I know how much fruit is grown in this county and I know how much of it goes to waste. And we, as a cider maker, we were using about 150 to 200 tonnes a year, and we were barely scratching the surface. So to hear that no juice was made from our local fruit was a surprise. So I came home and I did a few figures, a few calculations, and worked out it actually could be done, and within the budget that they were looking for. Obviously, they haven't got they're not the richest people in the world, but with this being regular winter money, day in, day out, we should actually finally start to have a sensible cash flow. And I think that's one of the big things that's going to help me as a business.
Our business is primarily software development. That could be content management systems or e-recruitment systems. We've been working now with the public sector for a number of years. We've worked with a number of local NHS trusts, Medway PCT, West Kent PCT, Medway NHS to name but a few. Working in the public sector does offer a number of challenges. The tender process, for example, is often drawn out, it's very lengthy and can be quite tedious. If there was one thing I would like to see changed, it would be that smaller businesses are given greater opportunity to quote for tenders, because there is the feeling that the bigger companies are able to pull levers that the small companies like ourselves can't do.